Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Klevu Partner webinar. My name is Asanga Fernando, and I'm a member of the global marketing team here at Klevu, and I'll also be your host today. So today we're excited to share with you some updates, including information on our product discovery suite, developer portal, as well as, of course, the Klevu Partner program and the benefits it could bring to you and your business. In terms of questions, a big thank you to everyone who pre-submitted a question before the event. We'll also be having 3 10-minute Q&A sessions after each speaker is presented. So if you'd like to ask a question, please write them down and submit them using Zoom's Q&A feature during the sessions, and we'll try our best to answer as many as possible. But please be aware that if we're unable to answer your question due to lack of time, we'll follow up by email. Now, moving on to the speakers, we have Mattias, Klevu's Business Development Manager, up first, and he'll give you guys an overview of what to expect from today's webinar. Mattias, I hope you're well. Would you like to say a couple of words?
Hello, Saga. Yes, I am very well, thank you. Hope you are as well. So yeah, just some short words. I've been at Klevu for about 3 years now, responsible for operations in the Nordics and most of the European region. So before I joined Klevu, I spent a number of really great years at Columbus, and I see that we have a number of Colombians in the audience as well. So really happy to see that. But today I'm at Clayview, of course, and focusing on helping our clients and partners get the best experience possible from our partnership.
Brilliant, thanks, Mattias. Next up are Claudia and Mairaid. Claudia is our Senior Partner Manager over at EMEA, and Mairaid is our Strategic Partnerships Manager here at Klevu. They'll give us a demo of the product discovery suite, as well as some live examples. Welcome, Claudia. Would you like to say a couple of words?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Claudia. I look after our partnerships here at Clayview in EMEA. I'm based out of London. Been at Clayview coming up to 4 years in the summer. So started out originally like doing a bit of SDR and onboarding, but quickly became focused into a more like a partner role. And I work mainly with SIs and technology partners in aiding their clients with product discovery. So yeah, welcome, and yeah, hope you really enjoy the session.
Thanks, Claudia. Next up, we have Joseph, our Senior Solutions Architect, who will run through the developer portal, as well as the most common integration options at Klevu. Joseph, great to have you here. Please, if you could introduce yourself.
Thanks, Asanga. Yeah, very pleased to be here today, and thank you everybody for joining. My name's Joseph. I'm a solutions architect at Klevu. I'm based over in the UK, similar to Claudia, and my role is more on the technical side. So I spend a lot of time talking to partners like yourselves, going through integration processes, what we can do, what you might, how you might get the best out of Klevu. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about that in my session. Not too technical, so everyone should be able to follow along, but generally speaking, I can answer the more technical questions.
Brilliant. And last but not least, we have our product specialist, Rasmus, who will give you guys an overview of the partner program and the benefits it could bring to you and your business. Rasmus, thank you for being here. Could you be kind enough to say a couple of words?
Yeah, thank you, Asanga, and hello, everyone. Really happy to see that we have so many people here today, despite the very sunny weather we have currently. But my name is Rasmus Holsti, and I work mostly as a product manager, partner manager here in the Nordics, based out of our Helsinki office. And my role at Klevu really is to help all of our partners to really get the most out of Klevu and ensure that Klevu works, to your clients' needs. And I'm very happy to share some lines today on Klevu's partnership program with all of you.
Awesome, thanks, Rasmus. And now I'll pass over to Mattias, who will give you guys a bit of an introduction in today's webinar.
Thank you, Asanga, and hi again, everyone. So it's really amazing to see, as Rasmus mentioned, that so many have joined us today, and I hope that you're all very well. We are going to be sharing many exciting news and updates and that we have been working on these last couple of years, and also shed some lights on how we are and have been investing in our partner community to really ensure that you as a partner get the best possible experience and the best values from your partnership with Klevu. And yeah, Rasmus, you will let us know more about this later. And it's also been amazing for me to see how Klevu as a whole, but with the solutions and everything, has really grown and improved these last couple of years. And It will be noticeable in the presentations, I can promise you. So Claudia and Mairaid and Joseph, you will let us know more about this. And I just want to mention as well that as you learn more about Clayview and our offerings now, how we are working, if you feel like there is a project or a client that could be a good fit, please just feel free to let us know later, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in finding out if it's a good match or not. So what I can see, we have a lot of partners who in the audience who have been with us for a good number of years, and also partners who are very new to our community. So just a huge welcome to all of you, and it's great to see you all here. And also, when you signed up, I know that most of you, almost everyone, signed up for the gift box. So if you received it, I hope that you really enjoyed the stuff in there. But if you haven't, and it was more than just a couple of days ago that you signed up, let us know, and we're more than happy to sort you out there. But for now, I won't take up too much more of your time. I will instead hand over to a short clip with testimonials from some of you in the audience who have been kind enough to share your thoughts and experiences from working with Clayview and what you and your clients have gained from our partnership. So excited to share that. And for now, I just hope that you will enjoy today's event. And I truly look forward to continue this journey together with you.
And we love having Clayview as one of our core partners.
What I love the most about them is the innovation behind their ever-evolving product line, as well as their drive towards being the go-to provider for everything product personalization and discovery. Beyond that, their partner teams and account teams are absolutely fantastic to work with, and they make the experience of being a Klevu partner even better.
We share your passion for search. We love what you guys are doing. We love partnering with you all, and we can't wait to do a lot of big things here in 2021.
We love working with Clayview. They're always on hand to help us and our clients wherever we need.
We are a proud Clayview partner, having worked with them for a long time to try to create this sort of commerce experience that merchants and, more importantly, their customers deserve.
Just generally, we know that the tech's great, but actually the support we get is even better. It's excellent. It really does give us confidence in the product and make sure that our customers are getting well looked after.
This partnership with Klevu has allowed us to bring the world's smartest Magento product discovery technology to our clients and provide positive results in performance, customer satisfaction, and growth.
Clayview really stepped in the Magento space, really filled that void and helped us bring a tech to our merchants and a feature set to our merchants that allowed their customers to shop much more efficiently.
They're able to integrate product suggestions based on what users have searched directly into their marketing. It's great working with the Klevu team. It's always been a pleasure, and long may it continue.
We're very excited to see what happens with this Discovery Suite they just released. I think it's going to offer a lot more functionality and give us a lot of opportunity to integrate even further.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so now we kick off with the first session of today's webinar. Our speakers, Claudia and Mairaid, will introduce the new Clayview Discovery Suite, as well as give you a demo and some live examples of the software at work. Over to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Claudia. I look after our partnerships here in EMEA at Clayview, and we are also joined by Mairaid Harte.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. My name is Mairaid and I work in the partnerships team here at Clayview.
So today, myself and Mairaid are going to be taking you through our AI-powered discovery suite. So Clayview has undergone a repositioning, moving us away from being purely a site search provider into a wider product discovery suite, which reflects all the amazing product advancements that we've made in regards to category merchandising and product recommendations. So we're going to be doing a bit of a deep dive today, talking about the different core functionalities within each module and going through some use cases as well. So firstly, just to talk about the smart search. So search has been our bread and butter, as we say here in England at Clayview for quite a long time. It's how we started just over 8 years ago. So we have our AI powered search, which encompasses all the self-learning that we learn from buyers, from what they're clicking on, what they're querying to what they're converting, and also reflects our natural language processing as well, where we can understand the more longer tail queries, understand things like error tolerance, stop words, inflections. So really understanding the crux of a complex query and serving customers with the most relevant product. And we can also power filters on a search results page as well, using a Clayview based template. We have various different ways of integrating Clayview within the e-commerce platform. Secondary to that, we have our category merchandising, and this is where we take all the learnings from search and we connect them to the category page. So we learn again from the search aspect, from the clicks, the queries and the conversions, but we also monitor conversion site-wide. So we're not deciding what products appear in what category, we're simply deciding how they are ordered based on our self-learning algorithm. But we also have a tool called visual merchandising, which features things like pinning products, pinning hero SKUs, rule-based promotions, time-bound promotions. And this is where merchants can layer their own business logic on top of the AI side of things as well. And one really cool thing within our category merchandising is we can actually personalize the listings on a one-to-one level. So myself would see a very different listing to what Mairaid can see based on our different affinities to different brands, colors, price points, etc. And then lastly, we have our smart recommendations, which we launched a few months back now. And this is basically banners that you can integrate across sites on your homepage, your category page, product page, cart page. And these are really to encourage upsells and cross-sell opportunities and ultimately make more revenue for the merchant. And there's different logics you can have on these. You can have, you know, trending for now, trending for you, and then you can also do like hand-picked recommendations as well, which is where you can actually pin the products. So it's like a visual merchandising tool with the recommendations as well.
Perfect. So here are the 3 solutions that Claudia has spoken about. We have the smart AI search, we have the smart category merchandising, and the smart recommendations. So an all-in-one AI-powered discovery suite. And all of these are underlined by Clayview's kind of 5 key pillars. So the first is natural language processing, and this is all about understanding the intent behind what someone is searching for when they make a query. So, you know, if someone makes an error in their spelling, if someone uses the word neutral versus nude, if someone, you know, has a longer tail query, so, you know, with 3 or kind of more words, Clayview is able to understand the intent and really decipher the query and return highly relevant results. So that's the natural language processing, and it's all automated by learning. The second is our machine learning algorithm. So we're consistently learning from shoppers' behavior. We're tracking what people are coming onto site and searching for, what products people are clicking on through search, but then what's being converted across the whole entire site. And this is most important for the algorithm. The third key pillar is our advanced merchandising. So it's really important, whilst machine learning, you know, is very kind of robust, you know, it's important that retailers' kind of strategy can also be met as well. So if, for instance, the retailer says, you know, it's coming up to Black Friday, I want to push all products that are on sale, or I want to push all products that have a higher margin. Within the back end for the 3 different solutions, you can always override the AI with your own business logic. All of the three different solutions have analytics behind them as well in order to allow the retailer to make strategic business decisions. So, for example, for search, it could be things like, what's being searched for, what queries are being searched for and driving 0 results, where are these searches being made from, how can this tie in with their kind of overall marketing strategies. For the category merchandising side of things, it might be, what products are positioned on specific category pages, what's the click-through rate, what's the conversion rate. If there's a specific product featuring on different categories, how's it performing, overall, where's it performing well and not so well. And for recommendations, it's things like impressions, clicks, etc. Now, all of these different kind of solutions can also be underpinned as well by a personalization engine. So this is what Claudia alluded to earlier. So the products that I would be shown might be very different to the products that Claudia might be shown, because as opposed to looking at overall trends, which is the machine learning, we can tailor on a one-to-one basis. So if I have an affinity to a specific size, brand, price point, I will be shown very different results to someone who has different affinities to those kind of attributes. So now what we're going to be running through is Clayview's kind of different key pillars and how we can help optimize a retailer's site. So the first is the natural language processing. So e-commerce platforms aren't inherently built to provide a really great search and navigation experience. And most match on a simple keyword basis and fall down when we look at functionality such as error tolerance, catalog enrichment, machine learning, and also the handling of more complex queries. So many retailers now are needing some kind of third party because their requirements can't be handled within the native platform search. And with the likes of kind of Amazon and Google continuously optimizing their search, customers now have an expectation that all websites will provide the same seamless experience. So search is now seen as much more of an important aspect of an e-commerce site. So now, as you can see on screen, if you take a look what happens on a Magento instance, when I search for red shoe, you can see that a lot of red things are returned, but they're not shoes. And we also get some suggestions under did you mean, such as red side, red short. So it's not really looking like the Elasticsearch has understood what the customer is looking for here. Next slide. So looking at these 4 different search queries, all using very similar words, they all have the words iPhone and case, but with some additional words such as with, of, and for. Now, a lot of search engines will call these stop words and simply just strip them out of the query itself. So if you strip these out of the query, you have iPhone case, case iPhone, case iPhones. So you can see that if you did a search for this in Elasticsearch, you're going to get very similar results for all of these, even though as a human, we're able to quite easily tell that in the first instance, the customer is looking for a case. And in the second instance, the customer here is looking for an iPhone with a case, so therefore an iPhone. So it's quite easy for a human to understand the difference here, but for a computer, it's really quite difficult. And this is where Clayview's natural language processing really comes into play, as we're able to understand the intent behind these queries. So here's an example of a longer tail query where the importance of NLP can really be highlighted. So here are customers searching for dressing room stool in grey under £450. Now, it might seem like a bit of overkill because, not everyone searches in this style, this kind of style or manner. But if you change this search over here to a voice icon, you can see that people would use this kind of conversational style of query in order to search for things. So if you look at the query, the most important thing here is that the customer is looking for a stool. This is the noun and this is the customer's intent. So it should be given the highest priority. They're not looking for dressing rooms, they're not looking for grey things, they're specifically looking for stools. So the first thing that needs to happen from the product data set is that you find all of the stools or chairs or anything relevant to this noun. And the rest are simply query filters. You need to filter out all the stools that are grey, and then any ones through keywords or kind of category association that are for dressing rooms, and then you filter to remove any products that are over £450. But the most important part in this query is when this is searched for, that you're returning stools to the customer. So one of Clayview's core USPs is our natural language processing. So in the same way that people speak in different ways, people also search in different ways. And it's hugely important that you're able to understand the intent behind what people are looking for in order to boost conversions and reduce bounce rate. One example of how Clayview has helped skinny dip is when people were going onto their site and searching for mobile, it brings back relevant results for phones. And this isn't in the product kind of catalog, it's named phones in the product catalog, but because of Clayview's semantic enrichment, where we add a contextual layer of semantically relevant synonyms, it's given it up to 3 to 5 times more depth and coverage. So when a retailer has a technology like Clayview installed that's underpinned by linguistics and machine learning, relevant results are able to be displayed. And you can see here the kind of uplift that Skinny Dip experienced since implementing Clayview. So 6% increase in e-commerce search conversion rate, an increase of 10% of search usage on the website itself, and a decrease of 5 times lower bounce rate year on year.
Thanks, Mairaid. And the second key pillar we're going to speak about is machine learning. So machine learning is really at the heart of everything we do here at Clayview. It works both in, the search aspect, the category merchandising, and the recommendations and personalization. So we're continuously learning how shoppers are interacting on site, from their queries, their clicks, what they're buying, and we're using that data to give the merchant essentially like a layer of popularity to the results. So automatically products that get more traction will be boosted within the results without any intervention from the merchant themselves. So one example here, so on our client's website, Cox & Cox, so they're searching for folding mirror. So the first thing Clayview will do is we'll process it using the NLP side of things, which Mairaid has just spoke about. So we'll look at the relevancy of the query, we'll match it to the catalog data. Does it appear in the description, the short description, any attributes that we've indexed? And then second to that, we'll also look at other customers that have searched for folding mirror. What have they queried? What have they clicked? And what have they bought? So out of the box, we'll show not only the most relevant product, but the products that are getting the most traction with other customers themselves. So basically these products will move each and every day based on how shoppers are interacting with them. So Clayview moves the needle each and every day. So it might be one day that this mirror is in the 4th position, but if it gets more conversions and more clicks, Clayview would boost it into a primary position, maybe on the top row. So all of this is done using our self-learning. It doesn't need any work from the merchant themselves. And we've had a lot of success stories from this, from large teams where normally they would have to do a lot of manual intervention with the results. But Puma, for example, we work with them on a global basis. They rely really heavily on our machine learning aspect for the results to be boosted automatically. And they've had some really good metrics come out of that as well. So they had a 52% increase in their search of conversion, and then other increases in other core vitals such as AOV, per session value, and site-wide conversion rate. So it really shows how a robust algorithm that is continuously learning from merchants, from customers even, can really help boost things like conversions, AOV, and other metrics like I've just shown.
Perfect. So another key pillar of Clayview is the personalization engine. So as we spoke about earlier, this is where we can deliver a one-to-one personalized experience for each and every individual user. And this can be carried across from not just search, but also the category listings as well, and the recommendation blocks too. And according to Adobe and their research, 34% of frequent shoppers are more likely to shop more on the website if they are shown products based on their past purchase history. So if we look at how personalization might work from a search perspective, so if a customer first arrives on the website and searches for fancy shoe, they might see some of the results like this on the left-hand side, where the search engine has identified these as fancy shoes. So looking at kind of the overall trends. And then if you've then got a customer that logs in and the customer has already happened to purchase some brown shoes of a particular brand in the past, that same customer, by making exactly the same search query, might see something completely different. So they might see this section at the top that says just for you, where we think this is what they might really be interested in. And we could look at things like the price point, the color, the brand of the shoe, any data we have on what that customer has been interacting with before, in order to deliver a highly one-to-one personalized experience. So Clayview offers a truly one-to-one personalized shopping experience across the search results listings, category listings, and recommendations. And overall, we've seen from implementing this that on average, there's been a 3% increase in per session value, a 6% increase in AOV, and a 4% increase in revenue from search. And here you can see some other areas where personalization is enabled. So upon activation of search, which you can see through Bulletproof, and then through the recommendation blocks here on Ruli's website on the right hand side, where they're being shown kind of one-to-one personalized results based upon what the individual shopper has been clicking on, converting, etc.
Thanks, Mairaid. And then we move on to analytics. So within the Clayview Merchant Center, which is where merchants will be managing the account from on a day-to-day basis, we have analytics for all solutions, from the search aspect to the merchandising through to the recommendations. And here is just a sneak preview of the new dashboard that we will be launching next quarter. And you'll have new things such as that location. You can drill down by device as well, and a lot more visual in terms of the different data that we will be presenting. So it'll make it just a lot easier for a customer to digest and take away actionable insights to which they can then go away and optimize the account with. So one really good example that I remember working on was one of our clients, Grensons. They were looking at this data on a weekly basis, and under their no results found, they saw loads of people were searching for a name called Holly, and Clayview just couldn't make that association as to what Holly was because it wasn't in the catalog, it wasn't in any of the data, so it was flagged as a no results found. And then it turns out that the company Grensons had Holly Willoughby wearing some of their boots on a TV show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And she was also promoting it on Instagram. So loads of people coming onto the site and searching for Holly to be connected to the boot that she was wearing. So using Clayview, all they did, they used that data that they got on the dashboard, they went into synonyms and they made a semantic connection between Holly and the boot Nanette. So a really easy takeaway that a merchant can make just by looking at these top level metrics. And it will just give them an idea as to where they can let the AI run its course, do its thing, or where they might need to do a little bit of manipulation, maybe to do with synonyms or redirects or promotions as such.
Perfect. So whilst machine learning is extremely powerful, nobody knows the retailer's business and their objectives better than the retailer themselves. So it's important that a retailer can balance machine learning and strategic control in order to ensure that e-commerce site is aligned with the wider business goals. So in the same way that you put, specific items in a window in a bricks and mortar store, there's no reason why you can't visually merchandise online. So kind of questions you should be asking yourself or the retailer should be asking themselves is, can they push specific hero SKUs in all areas of product discovery? Can you boost by attributes such as brand, margin, on sale? And can you also schedule in your merchandising kind of campaigns in order to help with things like Black Friday, after Christmas, etc. So here's just a preview of the back end of what the kind of UI looks like for visual merchandising of category pages. Here at Clayview, we offer the ability to merchandise across all areas of the product discovery suite. LSC are one of our clients that are using our smart category merchandising tool to rank and order products on their category pages. So this used to be a very manual process. And here we can see from Leela how AI has enabled the showcasing of trending products automatically, whilst also giving the team the tools they need to have the flexibility to override it to fit in with their broader merchandising goals. And as you can see, that the uplift from implementing category merchandising So we were tracking things like increase in e-commerce conversion rate, decrease in category bounce rate, and the increase of value of category pages. And overall, they experienced a 30 times ROI.
Thanks, Mairaid. Thank you so much for listening to us run through the different features. Just a bit of an overview here at Clayview. So we work with over 3,000 merchants in over 45 countries and in 25 different languages. We have a real global presence now with offices in London, Finland, Atlanta, India, Stockholm, and as of recently APAC, which is really exciting. We've just got our first man on the ground out in Sydney. So lots of exciting things to come out there as well. And just in terms of the merchants that we work with as well, it's really split across various different verticals, but I'd say some of our most popular ones are fashion and lifestyle, B2B, food and beverage, sports, activewear and home. And here's just a snapshot of some of the clients that we work with across different platforms and different territories. Hopefully you recognize a few of the names on there. In terms of platform partners, so we have plug and play integrations with both Magento, Shopify and BigCommerce, and we're just about to launch our Salesforce connector as well, which is really exciting. So really good relationships with those core platforms. A lot of our product development goes back into those platforms just because of how many merchants we work with that are on those e-commerce platforms. But we do also integrate with other platforms such as Hybris, Oracle, IBM, Miva, PrestaShop, WooCommerce as well. So we can integrate with any platform. We have options around like using our API, our JavaScript library, or more of a custom bespoke integration via a feed. So yeah, we can work with pretty much all platforms.
Perfect. And dependent upon kind of the MRR of the retailer, we offer different levels of customer support. So what this can look like is, you know, monthly or bi-monthly calls where we check in with the retailer to see how they're doing, if there's any learning gaps, possible areas of optimization. We can do quarterly or biannual business reviews as well. So this is where we delve more into the data pre and post Clayview, also share kind of different optimizations that we've noticed over a period of time that could enhance things like, you know, per session value, conversion rate, etc. It also gives us the opportunity to expose the roadmap as well, so where Clayview is going, and also allows the retailers to get involved in any kind of beta campaigns that are coming up with any of the new solutions that we're bringing out. So we offer, full dedicated support, customer success manager, etc. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope you enjoyed the session, and if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us both.
Brilliant. Thank you to both Claudia and Mairaid for that really insightful demonstration of exactly what the Klevu Product Discovery Suite does and how it can benefit our partner and clients. So we now move on to our first Q&A of the webinar. I can see that we've had some really great questions in so far, so let's get right into it and I'll begin asking them. So the first question we got here is, what metrics do you measure and how is Klevu priced?
I can take that one. So we look at a few different metrics dependent on whether the client is using the search, the nurture, or the rec. So some of the most important ones are the number of store views. So how many store views are you going to be integrating Clayview on? We look at the number of records. So records encompasses each variant. So we count each simple product. So if you've got a shirt in blue, black, green, and grey, that would be 4 individual records. And we combine that with number of categories as well, and also content pages. And then we also look at average monthly web sessions. We look at that to estimate the number of API calls that would be made to Clayview if you're using the merchandising. We also look at search terms. There's actually quite a lot of stuff we look at. And we also look at impressions, page views for the recommendation side of things. So we do start at €499 for the premium, going all the way up to enterprise. And you can have different bundles. You could have search, you can have search and merchandising, you could have search, merchandising and recommendations, which would be the whole suite. but you've got to use search to use the other modules just because of the way we're collecting the machine learning from search. And we're priced in euros as well. And we can either do like a fixed term contract or monthly rolling as an option as well. But yeah, I'd recommend just feeding back to our partner manager, Rasmus here, with any requirements that you might have, and we'll be happy to help the merchant find the best price point and package.
Thanks, Claudia. We've also got another great question in here. So what is usually the reason for customers selecting Klevu over the competition?
Oh, very, very good question. So I think the NLP side of things really, it really stands out when we're speaking to our prospects. It's how we started Clayview. It has been our bread and butter, and all the like linguistic processing we can do. I think that really does stand out amongst our competitors, and also the machine learning side of things as well. What we do is true AI. We're constantly learning from customer behavior, but at the same time, we do give merchants that strategic control. So we do have merchants that leave the AI, let it do its thing. It's very robust, it learns, but we do have all the tools in which they can then override and apply their own business logic. So it's really a tool that can be used in multiple different ways. And when we speak to, you know, merchandisers, e-commerce managers, they can really see how that can work for their team. And second to that, I think with our new product developments around the merchandise and the recommendations, becoming that all-in-one tech stack. So we speak to a lot of merchants and partners that really want to consolidate their tech stack to one provider, rather than have, you know, three different tech partners, 3 different contracts, 3 different integration pieces. We can now be that all-in-one provider. So having launched the other modules, we are seeing a lot of traction from merchants actually selecting us for all the different touch points of search, merch, and rec. So yeah, a few different things, but I think the new launch of the Discovery Suite is really going to be a sticking point and selling point for merchants, partners, prospects.
Brilliant, thanks, Claudia. And we also have another one asking, how does Klevu handle DDoS attacks?
Well, it's probably one for Joseph.
Do you want to take that one, Claudia?
Okay.
I think that's probably for me. DDoS attacks. Yeah, so this is when basically someone attacks your website or attacks Klevu, tries to send lots and lots of traffic to the store or to Klevu. And unfortunately, it does happen, as we all know, not just at Klevu, but everywhere in software these days on our websites. How do we handle it? We do handle it. So our hosting structure is distributed across many different touch points across the globe. So we can actually handle it from using CDNs. And then when it actually does make it through to us, we've got alerting in place. We've got monitoring of logs that we're always looking at, and we can pick it up and detect it and block what we need to. And we've also got processes in place to tidy up where we need to. If analytics data from these bogus searches or clicks has happened, we've got processes to tidy up and block. So yeah, like anyone else, we've got very good disaster recovery processes in place where we can pick this up. It doesn't happen often, of course, and fingers crossed it won't, but we do handle it as and when it comes up.
Brilliant, thanks, Joseph. We now move on to, we now begin our second session of the webinar. In this session, Joseph will be exploring the developer portal at Klevu, talking you through the most common integration options for our API, through to our JavaScript library and feed format. This session is just a little bit more technical. Sorry, it's just a little bit technical. So we hope techies and non-techies alike should take something away from it. Over to you, Joseph.
Hello, my name is Joseph McDermott. I am a solutions architect at Klevu, and in this session I'm going to be going through the Klevu developer portal where you can find our integration toolkit. You can get to this website from developers.klevu.com and you'll see something that looks like this. We've got 4 sections that I'm going to go through today: the API reference, the JavaScript library, the XML feed format, and also the community forum where you can go and get help. So let's dive straight into this first section, the API reference. Before I do that, sorry, just to share, this is a little bit technical this session, but not too technical, so everyone should be able to follow along. I'm obviously going to be showing some API things and some JavaScript things, but it's the audience is for everybody, so it won't go too technical. Let's dive straight into the API. So the first area we've got is our API version 2, which is our latest version. And on the left-hand side here, you can see the navigation of all of the areas that you can integrate with Klevu. So you've got our 3 core offerings of our Discovery Suite here. You've got search, category merchandising, and recommendations. And if you click into each of these, it expands and you can see the various bits and pieces that you can do within search and within recommendations. So if we look at the recommendations API, as you would expect, you see all the different kinds of recommendation engines, logics we power, like trending products, customers also viewed. And if you click in, you can actually read a bit about what this means, what it does, how to use it, and the same for search. If we take a look at search and go for searching for records, we've got some information about how you can use the Klevu API. And on the right hand side here, we've even got an example which is interactive. So you can actually click execute, and this will make a call to Klevu, so we can actually see search results coming back here. So we've got a search request for jacket. So if I change this to bag and say I only want one product and run this, then we can see a result from Klevu where we have a single record that has been returned, and it is an adjustable bag of some kind. The name is around here somewhere. Here we go, Wayfarer messenger bag. So you can actually try our API right within the documentation and then read more about the various configurations and try it yourself. So please do have a read through this. It covers everything that we offer, from personalization through to the various advanced features, such as multiple queries in a single API call, how you would make hand-picked product queries, how to use multi-currency, customer groups, all the many features that Klevu has to offer. You can find instructions on how to actually use them in an API-based integration. So a lot of our products wrap this automatically for you. So obviously we've got an integration with Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, and Salesforce. We have cartridges and plugins which will handle a lot of this for you automatically, but it's still worth having a look over here and seeing what we can do in case you want to do any further customization or add any logic to your store. So I won't go into any more detail than that, since it's API docs and it's a little bit technical, but everything here is written in a human-friendly, non-technical friendly manner, so you can read about what's happening as well as the more deep techy stuff of actually trying it out. So if we go to the next section of our portal, we have the JavaScript library. This is something we're very excited about, and we've also already got some customers doing some great things with our JavaScript library, building some great customer experiences. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So if we click into this section, we have the documentation landing page for the Klevu JS library. We always recommend that you come to this page first, the home page of the JS library, because we'll always be keeping us up to date with the easiest way to get started with Klevu JS library on your next project, together with some links of how you can see a live demo in action, or hello world example of how to actually get started. So I'm going to click into some of those and show you here. If we take a look at the live demo, this is the Klevu JavaScript library in action. So we've got a fully featured theme here. We've got a banner at the top which is powered by Klevu. So this is appearing. They can appear for the term bag or any particular query you like, or always appear at the top. And as you can see, we've got filters across the left, which you can refine the results down over here. We've got things like pagination, everything you'd expect from a search results landing page, together with some extra features like quick view when you hover. So if we actually take a look over here, we can click this product and actually see a bit more information about this one product. Quick view over here. So all of this information is coming from Klevu. So there's no need to query the source e-commerce framework here. Everything you can see here is coming directly from the Klevu API response. And what that means is you can create very feature-rich integrations like this, where you can show all of the detail you need to do, as well as quick view to show more details, using purely the data that comes back from the Klevu API. So you can make some really fast performant integrations using this. So And if you want to take a look at the source code, you can actually click here and download everything you need to actually get exactly what we can see on the screen here. You can get that up and running for yourselves. We've also got one other section of the documentation called Hello World. This is designed for your development team to get a quick overview of exactly how the JavaScript library works. So we have, I won't go into this in a great detail because it's a little bit technical, but we have the HTML that you need to get started. So you're including the Klevu library and maybe a search box. Then we're talking about the micro templates that you need to actually render the results. So if you want to change the look and feel of the product cells or the category cells and the results that are coming back, you can modify these micro templates. And then some other settings and bits and pieces going into a bit of information about the event-driven nature of our library and how it works. And then at the very bottom, you scroll down to the bottom, you can see a JS fiddle, which you can click on, and it will look something like this. So if I move this over here because my video is a little bit in the way. So we've got one example where we've taken the bare bones of what you need for an integration with JS library. If I type something in on the right hand here, you can see there's results coming back from Klevu. And when we take a look down here at products matching query, if we go into the templates, we can see we've got a micro template here, products matching query. So this is in the HTML, and it's defining what gets rendered over here when the customer searches for something. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to modify this. So we've got a brand attribute being shown over here. So each of these products brands is being shown. I'm going to change that to a SKU. So if I come over to here, find it in the source code, change this to SKU, and then product.brand. So brand is the name of the attribute that's coming back from Klevu. So brand has been indexed with Klevu from your source data. You might also have an attribute called SKU or any other attribute that you want. Anything you've got indexed from your store with Klevu, you can update over here. And then when I run this and then start typing, you'll see this is immediately changed. So now we've got the products still appearing exactly as they were before, but instead of brand, we've got the SKU of each product. So that's a very simple example of how you can customize Klevu. And you can play with this example all you wish, everything from modifying the templates right down to actually modifying the search queries that are being fired down here. So if I take a look at a product search that's been made here, again, this is a tiny bit technical, but excuse, it's worth just showing this in action. So we've got a product query which is powering the results over here, and we've got a setting limit of 5. So just to show, whoops, not sure what happened there. So just going to modify this 5 to something else just to show it in action. So let's say we only want 1. We only want 1 product result to come back. So if I run this time and search for B, we'll see that now there was 5 there before, now there's 1. So you can customize everything using the JS library, from the API calls being made to actual rendering of the results itself. Then if we take a look at this other section, which you can get to from, again, JavaScript library documentation, integration, Klevu theme. What we're starting to do at Klevu now is actually launch more ready-made, ready-to-use themes and templates. And with the inclusion of something just like this one file, you can actually get up and running with Klevu in a few seconds. We provided some examples here of how to do it. So to get a quick search up and running, you need to just copy this code. That's all. So you'll add the JS library, you'll add our theme, instantiate it using your API credentials, and then fire it up. And I've got an example of that also up and running over here, just to prove that it is that simple. So we've got, this is all of the HTML, all of the code needed to get up and running. And if I type over here, or before I even type, I click, and we start seeing the trending results coming back from Klevu. So Klevu is already trying to tell me that what the trending products are on the website. And if I start typing, I see a fully fledged autocomplete with suggestions, pages, categories, products, everything here just from this tiny little bit of code here. And that's by including our Klevu theme, which we're extremely excited about when we're looking forward to what we're seeing, what our partners and our merchants are going to do with this. Of course, everything here is customizable. So you would then, if you want to change how the product cell looks, you can override these templates. So you could override this section or this section or this section, change it, change the look and feel, change the functionality, change the API calls. You can change everything you wish. But we've given you this theme as a really good starting point, so it's quick and easy to get up and running with Klevu using the JS library. Then I'm going to show some examples of what our customers have done using the JavaScript library and our API. So Skin Society, I've got one interesting case where if I start typing skin, I'll just type SK. So Klevu is already suggesting some suggestions over here, lots of different skin searches, obviously pages, categories as well. But on the right hand side here, we have the bulk of the search results. And rather than just showing all of the results for skin, what Skin Society decided to do is they've split it up by sections. So they've got types of products. So this first 4 products are professional skincare, SK, but these ones are luxury. And then we've got dermocosmetics. So what they're trying to do is show the most relevant products for this search term to their customers, but splitting out straight away by these different search product types, so they can give their customers a good overview of what's available straight away. And then of course you can click on view all to see the professional skincare products already filtered and take it from there. So quite an interesting way to use search and the quick search for sure. And the best thing is that everything you can see here, the suggestions, the pages, the category, all of these different queries, that's all from a single API call to Klevu. So when you type in SK, that's one API call that goes to Klevu, and in that single response, we from one API call. So within a couple of hundred milliseconds, you can show all of this data to your customers. So you can build, again, some extremely fast and extremely interesting UXs for your customers. Having a look at another example over here, we've got an API integration by one of our partners for Temp. And it's a very nice minimalist search over here to match the theme of their website. So you can see the search bar up here, and all we see is some suggested searches based on trending searches across the store, powered by Klevu. So we're already showing, based on the most popular searches, we're able to display that. But if I start typing something, so I've started to type denim over here, and let's see what comes up. My computer is a little bit sluggish here from the recording, but you can see we've got some results, some denim results down here. And instead of showing lots of facets, lots of pagination, and lots of things on the results, you'll see that this is a very minimalist design where you've got some page suggestions for a denim blog article or something relevant to read about a showcase piece about denim. You've got, of course, the results with some nice big imagery being used to match the store. And then over here, we've just got a single filter being displayed. So rather than having lots of color, size, type, and all of these things with drop downs, they've opted to go for a single facet size, and they've just automatically expanded it to show the refined results over here. So the customers using the store, they search, they select their size, and they can see the results straight away. So there's lots of stuff that can be done with the Klevu JavaScript library and together with the API, and you can build. We're looking forward to seeing what you guys build and show us in these in the coming weeks. Okay, next I'm going to take a look at the XML feed format. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of different out-of-the-box integrations like Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, and Salesforce, and we've got plugins and cartridges which you can install, and we will automatically sync your data. And we'll grab all of the products and categories and CMS records from your store. We can do that all automatically using our plugins. But sometimes you might want to take a bit more control, or you might have a particularly complicated catalog, maybe built up of some data in Magento, some in an ERP or somewhere else, or in a WordPress instance, and you want to put it all into one big feed. You can of course do that, and we've recently revamped our feed format to make it even easier excuse me, to do that. So if I take a look over here at the feed format, we will see that we have one page which shows what's involved in providing a feed to Klevu. So just stop that recording. If you click on the XML sample here, you can take a look at what a fully fledged example of what an XML feed will look like, and you can use that to start your own feed. And we've also provided an XSD schema, so you can validate your feed and make sure everything is accurate and as Klevu expects before even submitting it to us, so you can get some confidence in exactly what format your data should be. Ultimately, it's a three-step process. You review the sample and the schema, you create a one XML file with your store's data, and then you host it somewhere, and then we will come and regularly download it according to a schedule that you define, and we will grab any of the new product updates and category updates and any other records you've got, and we'll process them from there. And if we take a quick look at this feed format by looking at the sample, we've based this on a Google's product data specification. So if you've already got an XML feed for Google, you'll find that you're already quite a bit of the way there in terms of this structure. So this RSS channel and then item approach. So each item, for example, products and categories, we followed the same structure that Google uses. And we've tried to match exactly the same field names such as ID, SKU, title. These are all the same fields that Google uses in their feed. So you should just be able to take that, what you've got for Google, adapt it a little bit, and add any missing bits and pieces that you might want to index for your search, and you're up and running. So you can go through this. There's lots of documentation within this example, which you can read and use this to populate your own feed. And so yeah, that's yet another way of getting your data to Klevu if you want to go with that route. And then finally, I want to show you the last section of the portal, which is the community forum. So if you are trying to do something with the API or trying to do something with the JavaScript library or the feed and you're struggling, please do come and reach out on the community forum, where you will find a couple of sections on the developer API. Whoops, sorry, close it down. Developer API, JavaScript library. You can come in and ask your questions, so your developers can ask questions and they will get answers from our development team. So if you ask a question in the JS library, you'll get an answer from our JavaScript developers, and often they'll help you out with examples and tutorials and actually get you up and running over there. So that's it. That was a whistle-stop tour of our developer integration toolkit. We really look forward to seeing what you can create, and yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Joseph. I think it's always really important to see the intricacies behind the software and really understand the power of Klevu from a developer's lens. So thanks again for that. We now move on to the second Q&A of this webinar. Once again, I can see that we've received several questions so far, so thank you everybody for your input. So let's get right into it. So the first question we have here is, how and where is your service hosted?
Okay, yeah, one for me. So we host our main data centers are in France, and then we've got multiple servers over there, multiple data centers in different locations, and then we use CDN, so content delivery network, to actually serve multiple places around the globe. So we've got data centers, so distribution points in America, Asia, UK. We've got lots of different places around the world. So when you're using Klevu Search, you're usually talking to a local point, so it's extremely fast and scalable. And then in terms of redundancy, so it's worth mentioning that I touched on our disaster recovery earlier. We actually had a disaster. I don't know if any of you guys know, what one of our data centers actually burnt to the ground in France recently, and most of our customers didn't know, which is amazing actually, because we were able to keep up and running because we had redundancy in place. And our tech team were amazing, jumped straight onto it and reintroduced that redundancy and kept us all up and running. Most of our customers didn't even notice a thing apart from when we announced that there was a fire. So we're very proud of our architecture actually, and been able to host search for customers all over the world.
Thank you, Joseph. And will there be an option to create segments for personalization based on user behavior?
That's a good question. So this one's around personalization and segmentation. So The best way to answer this is to guide you to our developer documentation. So I mentioned the API reference earlier. There's one section now there called personalization, and it actually talks in plain English about what we do with personalization. But roughly speaking, we do one-to-one level personalization, where as a customer is clicking and navigating the store, if they happen to be clicking on lots of Nike products or lots of brown products or lots of a particular price point, then we can personalize based on that. But also, if you already know something about your customer, if you already have a profile based on their order data or their order history or what they've looked at in the past, you can provide Klevu within each API call. You can provide some extra context to boost on specific things that you know about that customer. So we can actually do both things. We can do kind of segment based on data that you've got, and also one-to-one level personalization. But please do take a look at the documentation there, because it does go through that section in detail.
Thanks, Joseph. We've got another question here asking, what is on the roadmap for custom store integrations with the Klevu API / JavaScript library?
So the roadmap is pretty much what I've just covered there, especially in terms of the theme that I just mentioned. It's more of the same. So we've heard what some of our partners have been asking for, and that's more themes, more options of getting up and running quickly with Klevu, ready-made templates to use and being easier to customize. We've heard you, and we're basically focusing on that a lot. Where we're trying to come up with more things that you can, as I showed in that session just now. With just a few lines of code, you can get a fully fledged integration working, and then it's still easy to customize the look and feel, the functionality, everything like that. So you can expect more of the same, more documentation examples on that. And I hope that's useful to you all, because we've definitely been listening to feedback there.
Great. I think we've got time for another 1 or 2 more questions. So when will JSV2 support URL redirects?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. I've got a good answer for that. It's now. So this is our JS library. So I'm guessing this is from someone who's used the library in the past, and it was a bit of you had to add the URL redirect functionality yourself. So it's always been available. But please do check out our theme, the theme that I mentioned just now in the session. It's included in there, so you can add that the Klevu theme. And it will support URL redirects straight out of that box. So please do give that a try.
Great. And one final question. When it comes to B2B, it is often an assortment restriction. How does Klevu manage that?
So much. Okay, so B2B, again, I'll guide to the documentation here. So we do support some B2B functionality. If you look at the API documentation, there's a section in there called, 2 sections. One is multi-currency and one is customer groups. And within customer groups, we can support different prices for different customers. So if you've got price lists or price books in your store that's different for customers, you can have a look at how to index that data with Klevu and also how to use it for search. And also we support some product visibility over there. So you can decide which product should or should not be visible to certain customer groups. So yeah, please head over to the developer documentation again and have a look at the customer group section.
Thank you for all your questions during this section, everyone. If there were any unanswered, we'll obviously answer them post-event via email. So now we move on to the final session of today's webinar, as Rasmus will give you an overview of the partner program and the benefits it could bring to you and your business. Over to you, Rasmus.
Thank you, Asanga, and hello again, everyone. I hope you found this webinar interesting so far, and I won't take up too much more of your time. I will just quickly introduce you to Klevu's partnership program and give you some of the benefits of actually being a Klevu partner. Now, so Klevu's partnership program is really something that has been that backbone to our growth success. And it is really because of the help and the support that we receive from all of our partners, from you guys, that has helped Klevu really, get to the point where we are at today, and really, reach such a diverse customer base. And I feel that by working closely together with our partners, with you, we can not only deliver our products and solutions to merchants who really benefit the most out of it, but also by working closely together, make sure that these merchants stay and are successful. So the support and the guide that you guys provide us is something that is very valuable to us here at Klevu, and it's something we truly appreciate. But that means, of course, that we want to commit fully to all of our partners, by helping you and your clients really improve your clients' customer experiences, and by providing them with a very high quality search and discovery solutions. And what I'm super excited about with our partnership program going forward from here is the fact that we've added quite a lot of resources into it lately. So we can now function even more effectively, as an extension to your already existing team, whenever it comes to search, category navigation, product recommendations, and personalization. And to be honest, this is maybe something we have struggled with a little bit in the past, since we didn't always have the necessary resources in place. But I feel that we are now finally at that place where we really have the right procedures in place, and we really expanded our entire kind of partner program. And it's of course my hope that we can work even more closely with all of our partners, because in the end of the day, what really influences us and the way we decide and build and improve upon our products is really based on the feedback that you guys provide us. And that is really because you guys are the experts in your fields, and you can really provide us with that valuable feedback that is needed for us to improve and really going forward. And that is something that has also led us to really establish our entire partner network that today consists of over 100 partners around the world, with various leaders from the e-commerce ecosystem. So for example, some of these are platforms that we partnered up with, and towards some of these we have a direct integration possibility. So for example, with platforms such as Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, and Salesforce Commerce Cloud, we have direct integration through our plug-and-play modules. So that means that Klevu can offer a very easy and fast integration possibility towards this integration, as we're kind of able to pull that feed directly from the platform. But a really key point to take away here, though, is that Klevu really is platform agnostic. So that means that Klevu can work on any platform as long as we receive a feed. And that is also something that we really always strive to be, to be that flexible solution that can work on any platform and really any business model, no matter the complexity. We've also partnered up with several other tech companies in the e-commerce ecosystem, and also towards some of these we have a direct integration possibility. So for example, Klevu can take full advantage of solutions such as Digital, Trustpilot, and Yotpo. We also have many other kind of relationships with various leaders such as Cloud and Nosto and Clayview, for example. But then maybe the big question is that why should you partner up with Klevu, and what are the benefits to this? And of course, there are many reasons for this. One obvious, of course, being, partner up with a leading discovery suite provider. But besides these, there are some additional benefits, and I've highlighted 6 here that I wanted to share with you today. And I'll go through these step by step. So starting off with partner training. And with this, we really mean that we want all of our partners to feel comfortable and knowledgeable with Klevu. And that is why we regularly organize this one-on-one training session, just to kind of help you guys understand Klevu and really, show you what Klevu can do and how it works. So it could be, for example, that we can go over some various integration possibilities, different customization settings, just introduce you to new and upcoming features. Simply put, just to make sure that you and your clients feel comfortable and knowledgeable about Klevu. As a partner, you're also entitled to dedicated support. And so with this, you will have a dedicated partner manager as well as a solution architect at your disposal. So whenever you have any kind of concern, doubts, questions, you will have that personal relationship to Klevu that can really help you, move things along. I'm also very happy to say that we've expanded our entire support team, and we now cover support 24/7 across the globe. We also expanded our customer success team, which means that most of your clients are able to take part of our customer success team. And our customer success team's mission really is to make sure that merchants are happy with Klevu's solution and that Klevu works to the fullest effect for them. As a partner, you will also receive exclusive access. So first of all, you can start to use, of course, all of Klevu's solutions and products, for example, on your own staging environment, to really just play around a little with Klevu and see how it works and all the amazing things you can do with Klevu. But you will also have access to all of our upcoming beta features. So you will be able to try these out in advance before we release them. You also have full transparency into our roadmap, so you can really stay on top of what are Klevu releasing and when are we scheduled to release it. And as mentioned, you could also start to suggest to Klevu any kind of improvements you would like to see, be it new products or just improvement in existing features. Co-marketing opportunities is something we love to do with all of our partners. So we do quite a lot of webinars, for example, here at Klevu, and hopefully we can soon start to do some physical events again. And these are something we love to do with all of our partners, and all something we always looking at the possibility of doing. Another thing we do quite frequently is case studies. And whenever we do a case study, we try to kind of highlight the good work all of our partners have done on that particular case. We also have our own dedicated partner marketing department that we are more than happy to introduce to any of our partners and just start sharing ideas and brainstorming what we could do and what kind of marketing activities we could do together. Revenue share. So as a Klevu partner, you're also entitled to a monthly commission that is based on the price that your clients are paying for Klevu services. And finally, the partner portal. So Klevu's partner portal is aimed to be your kind of go-to place whenever you have anything Klevu related. And some of you might be familiar to this partner portal already. And it is a little bit in a phase 1 at this stage, but we are scheduled to release a lot more features this upcoming year. But basically, what you can do from the partner portal is that you can start to add any leads you would like to submit to Klevu. You can start to monitor which of your clients are using Klevu and which solutions are they using on. You can monitor how much Klevu owes you in terms of commission. So there's really no need for any additional paperwork or anything like that. It's all happening from this portal. You can also access different support guides and articles from here. If you have any kind of open questions to our support, you can monitor it from here, that what is the status on it. This is also the place where you can follow along Klevu's roadmap. But simply put, the partner portal is really aimed to be your one place with everything Klevu related in it. But so stay tuned for some more an upcoming feature to the partner portal later this year. The last part I just want to quickly touch upon again is our community. And this is something that Joseph already spoke about. But again, I just want to really highlight our JS library and our community forum. And as a company, we are really community focused here at Klevu. And what that really means is that we want to keep everything as open and transparent as possible, and give to you as the agency really the power of Klevu. So that is why we have our JS library, for example, where we have some amazing examples and really good guidelines to help you along the way. And our community forum, which is just great for developers to come together and share ideas and get inspiration from each other and just ask questions really. So I just highly recommend you to check these out. That was really all I wanted to quickly touch upon with this presentation. Again, I just want to really thank all of our partners for your your constant feedback and your support. It's something we truly value and something that is really important for our ongoing success and continued growth. So thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rasmus. I think it's always great to hear about the power of Klevu, its flexibility, and as well as obviously the partner program benefits. So now we're going to kick off with our final Q&A of the webinar. So once again, thanks for all your submitted questions. And I'll begin with the first question. So does Klevu work on API server solutions?
Very good question. And the short answer is yes, it will. So basically, Klevu can work really on any platform as long as we are able to receive a feed. So yes, it can.
Brilliant. And how are partners rewarded? Is there a commission scheme?
Good question. Yes. So as mentioned, all of our partners are entitled to a monthly commission that is based on the price that your clients then are paying for Klevu. And this commission is 20% on all platforms except for Shopify, that offers 50% for the first month and then 10% after that. And maybe an important note to notice is that we kind of require that your client is working with you for you in order to receive commission. So it's basically as long as you and your merchants are working together, we will pay you that commission.
Thank you, Rasmus. And are there any prerequisites to joining the Klevu partner ecosystem?
Good question. Short answer, not really. Really, the way we look at partnerships are, of course, that they have to be beneficial to both parties, and something, of course, we would like it to see that both parties get something out of it. But generally speaking, no, we don't really have any requirements to any of our partners. We do, however, encourage all of our partners to take part of the customer training, for example, that we do, and hopefully share maybe some same backgrounds at least. But basically, no.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rasmus.
Thank you.
I'll now pass over to Mattias for some final words.
Thank you, Asanga. And so I think that you very shortly will have 3 questions that will appear on your screen. It would be great if you could answer them, as we appreciate your feedback, and it shouldn't take longer than 30 seconds. So I saw that it popped up now, so I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer these before I continue.
It came up for me, but I can't vote.
Yeah, same. Okay, I'll just continue now. So hopefully you have filled in the form. So I just want to say thank you all for joining, and a special thank you to all the people and agencies who shared their testimonials with us, and also a special thanks to my colleagues Claudia, Mairaid, Joseph, and Rasmus and Asanga for helping us here and making this possible. And as I mentioned in the beginning in my first speech, so if you feel after what you've seen today that Klevu solutions could be a potential good match for a project or a client that you're working with, feel free to reach out to either me or Rasmus, and we'll be happy to assist you further and see if it is actually a good match or not. Lastly, a big thank you to from all of us at Klevu for joining this call, and we are extremely excited to continue this journey together with you. So let's stay in touch, and all the best till next time. Thank you and have a great day.